Picture a man with a chin stuck down in his navel, shoulders up above his head, pigtail pointing to the sky, 5 internal organs on display. The man is Splay Lim Shu. His creator is Zhuangzi, and it may not seem ideal to have 5 organs, but the man is out there living his best life.
By sewing and washing, he gets enough to fill his mouth. By handling a winnow and sifting out the good grain, he makes enough to feed 10 people.
Both in ancient China and in the world today, we'd tend to describe this person as disabled and as unfortunate because they're not like other people.
That's Brian Van Norden, a professor of philosophy at Vassar College. He co-wrote a New York Times op-ed about how Zhuangzi pushed back against the idea that normal is good and different is bad. And he did it more than 2,500 years ago.
The reality is that their disabilities in some way open up other opportunities to them.
This is why Zhuangzi is so radical.
Van Norden's co-author was John Altman, who studies and writes about philosophy and disabilities.
There's so much to Zhuangzi.
Altman says the way people think about disabilities still needs to catch up with Zhuangzi. Altman loves how he imbues dignity on these awesome characters.
He gives the parable of the knotted tree, the tree that can't be anything.
But the tree is great.
And because he gives up on his instrumental calculations for the tree, the means ends efficient kind of thinking of the tree is able to live out its years.
So for your big tree, no use? Then plant it in the wasteland, in emptiness. Walk idly around. Rest under its shadow. No axe or bill prepares its end. No one will ever cut it down. Useless. You should worry.
Ancient philosophers have often been cruel to people with disabilities. For example, Aristotle argues that, quote, deformed kids should be left to die. In another Zhuangzi writing, Confucius meets an amputee named Sushin No-Toes. Confucius judges him, but Sushin No-Toes knows there are more important things in life than toes.
But I've come now because I still have something that is worth more than a foot, and I want to try to hold on to it. There is nothing that heaven doesn't cover, nothing that earth doesn't bear up.
There's so much hostility to what philosophy would call alterity, another way of saying difference. And Zhuangzi was one of the earliest voices to say it doesn't need to be that way. And I just think there's an immense beauty in that.
A lot of Zhuangzi's ideas are just really nice, like how he writes about being one with 10,000 things.
A lot of Buddhist thinking and worldview are really about looking at notions of duality and how that exists alongside the notion that we are not separate from the world, that we are one.
That's Xinyi Pai, host of the 10,000 Things podcast, all about modern-day artifacts of Asian American life.
In many Chinese sayings and in classical poetry, the number 10,000 is used in a lyrical sense to convey something infinite, vast, and unfathomable.
There's an episode about a now historical blue suit worn by a Korean-American lawmaker cleaning up after the January 6th insurrection.
I bought the blue suit initially to be something that I wear to President Biden's inauguration. And I wanted to wear it that day on January 6th because that was the day that we were going to certify the election results.
Other episodes are about bikes, a book, and an episode on voices featuring Alice Wong, who lost her physical voice after a catastrophic medical event.
Ideas of what is considered a good voice gatekeep marginalized people, making them feel they can't take up space and sound. And the reality is there is space and sound for all of us.
There are so many expressions and permutations of Asian American identity, 10,000 of them, infinite and vast, right? And this series was really an effort towards narrative change and humanizing stories of the Asian American experience, and maybe also bringing some insight into Asian cultures and identity.
Zhuangzi would appreciate that. He says, do not struggle. Go with the flow of things, and you will find yourself at one with the mysterious unity of the universe. Let's end there. For Philosophy Talk, I'm Holly J. McDede.